Hey there, Mike Robinson with Blackhawk Paramotor USA on a chilly day.
Yeah, it is brisk.
That it is. You guys, we've been using Corsair or selling Corsair amongst other paramotor engines for a year now.
This
and
1 year for Corsair.
Right, and it's time to make an announcement.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
I'm happy with them. I couldn't be happier. The first motors that we got were in January of last year, and the first ones was the Black Bulls, and I flew it for 6 months myself on my machine, and then I put it down in the school. And here it is, January this year. That motor's still got the original everything, pull start, everything, and it gets used a lot. Still has the original pull start. It has just not failed.
That's amazed me, and you know, I've had some pretty significant injuries to my hands. None of them by a prop, by the way, mainly a generator. But I can't pull anymore like I used to. If I get a snap back, my hand's not being used for a day or two. I just won't do it. And just in the last couple months, I felt comfortable doing what you guys do and pulling rather than using the electric start. And I can tell you, they're
nice.
Easy pulls are really, really nice.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of testing with the 172, which is this motor right here, and the Black Bee, which is my little baby. I love that little motor. And so after a year's time, I feel confident that, one, this is the best finished motor in the industry.
No, it's beautiful. Fit, finish, and above all, reliability. We've had no real issues at all, and the support from them has been fantastic.
Yeah, shout out, okay? Alberto, Consuelo, Evelyn, you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
They don't run from anything. I remember when we had a problem with Woody's Black Bull and the carburetor right out of the box, you know, Alberto sent us a new carburetor and boom.
Carburetor in a week.
Right.
I was like, wow. And the carburetors they're using are not something off the shelf. It's proprietary to them. So
we didn't have one laying around. So but we do have a great stock of parts on all of the manufacturers' engines right now. But today it's all about Corsair.
Yeah.
This motor has just been wonderful, as we just stated. And Mike's going to point out a few things that he likes about it, and then I'll point out a few things that I've liked about it. One thing we got to say right off the bat is the power of this is amazing.
Really amazing.
Go ahead and share. 156
pounds of thrust, and it weighs 33.6 pounds.
So it's 15.3 kilograms.
Yeah.
The Moster is 15.4. The Titan is 15.4. Yeah. So
it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. I mean, we're not going to push or brag about it's lighter. That doesn't really matter. You guys, we're flying Super Cubs. We're not flying F-16s. We're flying Super Cubs, okay? And these things, whether it be the cage, the harness, the motor, they need to take a beating and keep on ticking. Yeah. This is it. Yep. Corsair is doing it.
Yep. This motor runs really cool. All of them so far. The Black Bee, the 172, the Black Devil, which I think's been around forever.
Yeah, I mean, Paratoys, right? You know, imported the Black Devil from Oscar, and I started flying that motor, 13, 14 years ago or so. It's come a long ways.
A long ways, yeah.
New owner, by the way.
Yeah.
In 2015, Alberto took over the reins at Corsair. It was Aero Corsair, now it's just Corsair Motors. So
yeah.
Better clarify that.
Other things to point out, their exhaust system that they've come up with on their motors, all three of their engines share the same exhaust, which is nice, and not having to piece and part or anything together. They're all sharing the same exhaust. And this exhaust system is really linear, and it's got a very nice note to it. It's not this tinging in your ear when you're buzzing around. It's more of a mellow, four-stroke-ish type sound coming from it.
It's quieter than the Titan. It's quieter than the Moster. Yeah. If I had to pick one, I was really impressed with the Titan's sound.
Yeah.
You know, until I started flying this, and this does have a more pleasurable, smooth. I mean, I wouldn't say baritone, but it's more like a smooth sound. Does that make sense? But it is. It's a very, very smooth sounding exhaust.
And the power delivery is just linear. I mean, from the basement up to the top end, it's just a really nice linear pull to it. So
would you say that the Black Bull, the Black Devil, and the Black Bee are just as linear, each of them?
I'd say that this one more linear and the Black Bull more linear. The 125 is very linear for a small motor like that. It's still right in that typical 5,000, 5,500, but it's not this, woo, here we go. It's just a change in the note.
I can foot drag mine for miles, and it's the power is always right there.
Yeah.
I really like it. Yeah.
No, it's nice.
No issues with them. It's a really good-looking exhaust. I mean, let's face it, you guys. I mean, a lot of people buy something because it looks pretty, right?
Yeah.
These look pretty. What do you think about the new airbox? I think it's pretty cool.
Yep, over the original one from a year ago. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's got a great attachment point with another attachment point separate from here, rather than like a zip strap or something.
Right.
And it's really, really solid. It still takes up the vibration. I like how they connect their fuel line. The fuel line connection is really good. Well, it's really super clean.
The fuel pump setup is really nice. Everything about this is just well thought out and clean.
I like the rubber isolators, and they are held together with straps, safety straps, if they do break.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch. They do wire the exhaust closed. I really like how the bonnet attaches, and frankly, this bonnet is really super strong. It's the stiffest one that I've found that doesn't crack. We've had no cracking issues with them. Clutches have worked great.
No, just a very nice motor. They've done a great job with it.
Keep in mind, a lot of the motors are running cooler these days because Helix, E-Prop have developed some neat props with a different route, which draws the air. So kudos to you guys. Heat is everything with a two-stroke. If they run hot, they're not going to last long. So if they run cool, run as cool as you can, they're going to last a
lot longer.
A lot longer, yeah, definitely. But
we've got all this set up on the Kestrel V3 Elite cage. Carbon fiber rods, the CNC'd swing arms, carbon fiber seat board, and of course our own harness on there, that harness has been a really nice.
So the new comfort harness is getting
in and out of it is just easy.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great testimonials from people as to how easy it is. Plus, what's neat about the comfort harness is they can hang straight out of it. Yeah, there's nothing that's pushing their legs forward or pulling their legs back. It's really easy to get in and out. If you're not already halfway in the seat, when you come off the ground, lift your knees a little bit and you'll be all the way in the seat.
You're sitting.
Yeah,
exactly.
Do take time in the simulator.
Yeah.
Do take time in the simulator. Make sure everything's adjusted right.
Yeah. Our cage, it weighs a little bit more than a lot of these titanium ones that are out there right now and everything. But
55 pounds
altogether,
right now.
Yeah, 55 pounds. Thing is you can butt surf it in. You can do a very hard power forward. You're not going to flex this thing.
No, definitely.
The thrust line has been set up to where it's below the pivot point, and we shift that motor off to the side a little bit, depending on the weight of the pilot. You can manipulate this a little bit to really work with the torque effect, and we pretty much eliminated it. Yeah,
I'm really surprised. The torque is virtually nothing with this frame. As Mike was mentioning, there's a lot of the lighter weight titanium out there, and people are pushing lightweight, and frankly, it's a bunch of bull crap. Okay,
it's a prop hanging out 9.5 inches.
Yeah, most props are hanging out 5 inches to 9.5 inches. We've measured them. Having a prop out 9.5 inches, you got to wonder why you even have a cage.
Yeah. Well, down here on our own field, I watched one of our guys take off. We were playing with it, and perfect, hard power forward, gliders coming up, and tick, 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 props hitting the lines.
Yeah.
It's not a good scenario, really. Not safe, in my opinion.
No, and you got to wonder, the reason why they're moving these props so far back is Band-Aids. Their frames are bending into the props. And also when you have a prop that's 9 inches out, 7 inches out the back, it's wide open to anything and everything. I've seen guys fall on landing, leg comes back, boom, their foot got hit. That prop needs to be relatively close to that cage, or the diameter of the cage has to be big enough so that that angle is the prop is still getting some protection from the cage. This is about 3 inches from the cage, and my Black B is 2.5 inches, and the Black Bull is the same. It's 3 inches, and I think that that's acceptable. Again, it's a Band-Aid. Make your cages stronger. Titanium is a pretty strong alloy. You have an ability to make it stronger, but this race to see who's making the lightest, it doesn't work. Again, we're flying Super Cubs. We're not flying F-16s here.
And the weight's on your back for what? A minute?
Well,
I mean, it's not like I'm going to go hike to the store with it.
Well, let's talk about that. People, what happens when that engine is spaced way off your back? It becomes heavier. Okay? So that 5 pounds of savings, are you really getting it? No, you're not getting it. And how much money more are you spending? $8,445 for this Blackhawk with a 172 with a glider. You can't beat that.
Seen them 14,000 without anything.
Yeah, and we have a low boy, or Blackhawk's got a low boy 3 with a 4-stroke, fuel injected, water cooled, 35 horsepower, has a clutch for 16 with a glider. Okay, so in my opinion, your opinion, some of these paramotors are being sold for buku bucks. Profits going in somebody's pocket because they're not better made.
Well, you're in business to make money, but wow.
Yeah, I think an awful lot of that. Let's get back to the frame. Okay, so you talked about the thrust line. How much time did you spend developing the thrust line on this new Blackhawk V3?
We go through several different mainframes getting the geometry right to where you could, everything blended and fit and worked. It was a year into it, literally.
For those that don't understand what the thrust line is, can you explain that to them?
Yeah, just your thrust line, just basically look at the center hub of your prop and then draw a line that comes through there. And that line should come out underneath your pivot point.
This would be the pivot point. Yeah. Remember, it needs to be where the swing arm would be in flight.
Yeah.
If
you want it below there. If it's above it, it's going to push you over the top. And that's really bad when you have a very weak cage, a prop sticking way out behind it, and when you're hanging out of the seat, it amplifies this even more. You end up with these going right into the lines, which we've seen several times.
Yes, we've seen a real scary scenario in which a lot of these units, when you're out of the seat and you're under power, because these guys want to be under power when they take off and show you how great their rate of climb is. Well, they're only part way in the seat or they're out of the seat. That's really tilting the top of this cage in. And we watched a fella let go of his toggles, scrambling to get in the seat, and we watched his toggle bouncing off that prop. Yeah. Our hearts were
stopping
in our throats. It was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah. So do keep in mind, there's a lot of these units out there that are not properly designed. They need to make some changes or somebody's going to hit the dire straits.
Yeah. And it's just plain, if the geometry is right, they're just a lot more comfortable to fly, too.
It's true.
It's just way more comfortable to fly. But, I mean, we went to the drawing board from our stuff and made those changes to make it what it should be.
Yeah, and I remember being in the simulator with those changes, and you're trying to, again, simulate what it would feel like, but the problem is in a simulator, it's a fixed position above your head. So even with us running the engine, you're not getting the same. So after we kind of felt we got it in the ballpark, then we start flying the frame and realized that to be perfect, we needed to go not back to the drawing board, but continue to make changes. So we made a lot of changes. One thing is the swing arms. These are the CNC swing arms. They come with the Elite. Are the CNC swing arms lighter than the tube? No, we weighed them and they're the same weight.
Yeah.
But they do look good, and again, pretty does sell in some cases. One thing unique about this, and I want to point this out because Blackhawk's done a good job with this. The footprint for the swing arm is rather large.
Yeah.
The larger the footprint, the more
stable
torque resistance there will be, the stronger the swing arm is going to be. There's a bearing inside of here, which I think is a pretty good idea. The attachment, I'll try to turn it towards the camera. There are paramotors out there with attachments out the side.
Yeah.
And that's where the carabiner's hung from. What that does is that puts a torque on that arm, which subsequently puts a torque on here. The bigger the base, the better. But common sense design tells you that you should be pulling evenly with that attachment point, such as this. So I like how it's balanced here. There's no torque on that swing arm unless you're really putting some G's on your glider, of which there would be torque anyway, and that's where that comes in handy. This harness has anti-torque adjustment here. You'll see a red and a blue loop. It's never really used. The torque that Mike's designed into our frame, or the torque adjustment or compensation that he's put into the frame is, as he mentioned, a slot. And that engine can be slid left or right depending on the weight of the pilot. Bigger pilots need less torque adjustment. Little guys like me, we need more torque adjustment. I have no torque whatsoever on my Black Bee, and that's because I'm slid all the way over. Another unique thing about the Kestrel V3 frame is that mounting plate that you see, and we'll take some better pictures and show you this, is also mounted on rubber. So you have the motor isolated from the plate, and the plate is isolated from your back. It makes a difference. It's pretty cool. On any aircraft, the more isolation against
vibration, the
better. Aircraft don't like vibration. Vibration is not a good thing.
Nothing likes vibration.
No. What about the safety straps?
Well, redundancy again. Through to the carabiner, and then of course, in case that bolt were to fail for the swing arm, it's caught. So it's about as redundant as we can make it.
I like that because there have been instances where somebody's broken a swing arm. We've been seeing some swing arms, not the Blackhawk, but some that have been breaking. And without that, a good pilot can compensate, by the way. But remember, manufacturers should be building for the beginners, not for the expert pilots. And you don't want things to break like that. Beginners often can panic.
Even on the expert side of the house, I kind of disagree. I think that there should be, try to put as much redundancy into things as you can. And that's what we do in anything that we fly.
That's true.
So, just redundancy.
It doesn't hurt.
Safe. No, it doesn't.
It costs a little bit more money. The straps aren't cheap. Neither are certified Malians. But you know what? You can sleep at night.
Yeah. Knowing that you did the best you can do.
Mm-hmm. By the way, the Austral pin, stainless steel carabiners come standard.
Yeah.
That's a good feature.
Switched over doing all that.
Mm-hmm. On my harness, what I really like is this new lumbar support.
Mm-hmm.
The Blackhawk has really done a good job with the harness, and I adjust mine a couple times during my longer flights.
Mm-hmm.
It really makes you kick back a little bit, and you get a little bit more support.
In the lower back.
Yeah, I like that. The lid has been really cool. I use it when I want. Sometimes for comfort, to extend the lid out. Gives you a little bit more support underneath your knee. Of course, for weight shift, that works really good for weight shift. And then it's a really easy, quick release tab.
Yep.
And back under you for landing.
Yep.
They do have the speed bar.
Yep.
And frankly, a lot of people aren't using speed bar, and you guys should be.
Yep.
Speed bars are awesome.
Also, we added these in across the side and the top for your reserve bridle straps. So
you can just open the Velcro, stick the straps up.
Yeah.
And right in here is sewn reinforced red loop, and that's where your malleon will go for your reserve as well. That's supporting you in the proper location. Just looking at it, I really like this. This is much better than a handle.
Yeah.
It's soft and it kind of fits my fingers really good, and I like
cool.
it.
You see, Bitterotzi's putting this on, and Corsair's putting that on, and it's just a lot more. Especially if you get a kickback with that plastic handle for some reason. That blows.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
This one's a hell of a lot more forgiving.
Other than that, 55 pounds, 155 pounds of thrust with the 117. We will show you a video. 156. 156 pounds. Yeah. We will show you a video on that. We'll show you a video on the weight or a picture of the weight. We will show you some more pictures of the cool way in which Blackhawk has developed this anti-torque mounting plate. By the way, it will fit any motor out there. It's super strong as well. That plate has added some structural stability to the main frame as well. There are a total of 8 rubber mounts for the plate, and impressive. Impressive.
Like I said, it weighs a touch more than all the titanium ones out there, but the comfort of it and all that, and unless you're jogging to the local store with it on your back, it's, I'd carry the extra few pounds for the comfort and if I.
But that weight's just a number. Remember, when that motor's stuck way out off your back, it's adding poundage to your back, and especially to your lower back. I mean, backpacks are designed to fit as close to you as possible, right up as high on your shoulders as possible. One thing about this frame, it does not hang down low on you. It is in the right spot. It's very, very well balanced. It does have the kickstand in the back, so that keeps the unit upright, which is nice. I noticed it's got some reinforcement here on the sides for the frame, and they've maintained the fact that you can split the frame in half. That's pretty cool. So there's a lot of great features, along with a great price on the Kestrel V3
Elite.
With any of the Corsair or Bitterotzi motors.
Or Bitterotzi,
yeah.
All good.
If you guys have any questions, comments, if you feel we haven't covered anything and you want to ask us to look at something for you or send you a specific picture or answer a specific question, you all know we're always available by telephone. And
if you're coming out to train or anything, you're training on these frames. It's a train on what we sell. So.
And what we fly.
What we fly.
Shout out, Steve Tatalovich. Thank you for this very warm hat.
Indiana,
great trainer.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Colder there than it is here.
Yeah. He's got the insulation I don't have.
And I don't even come close to
it. But Steve's a great guy. He's a really good trainer. And what's really nice about his training program is that almost always it's like one-on-one.
Yeah.
So I've had some really good calls or emails from customers of his that have been very happy.
Yep.
So thanks, Steve. Appreciate your support and your hat. Is that it?
All right, that's it.
All right.
Today.
Thanks for watching, y'all. Blackhawk, paramotor.com.